So what is surrender? So surrender to me isn't the person as such surrendering. Although the effect of waking up might be that the person surrenders to an extent, but what actually surrenders is the identification with the person. So it's actually something sort of in between, in a way, everything, consciousness, who you truly are, and the person. It's like this in between that makes consciousness, makes your essence, make what is feel limited and narrow, and contained inside your sense of self. And it's a breaking free of that. And that can happen spontaneously. Like nobody really knows how it happens. It can happen from listening to non-duality. It can happen from doing lots of practice on yourself. It's an unknown phenomena of how that happens. But actually the whole of life is an unknown phenomena. So don't get too tripped up on that. Like just me speaking now, or me looking at you, or me moving my hands, it's unknown how that happens. We say, in order to communicate, it's Lisa speaking, and I'm happy to take responsibility for that. If I suddenly were to say really inappropriate things, I would be the one that would be reprimanded for that and maybe banned from YouTube. So I'm happy to take responsibility on the human level. But actually directly in the moment, and even if we think about things in time, we don't know how it happens. Speaking is simply happening out of my mouth with a feeling that it's coming from Lisa, but it's actually simply happening. It's appearing out of the mouth. And you are hearing it, and you don't actually know how you're hearing it. You claim that it's you that's hearing it, and I claim that it's me that's speaking, but actually in the essence of it, it's a total mystery as to what's happening. Like I'm not sitting here inside my brain being like, squeeze the voice box to the left, squeeze it to the right, make this sound. Although if I think to myself, stop speaking, with that it's really divine and beautiful, that life is really mysterious. There's so much more to it than what we realize. Or so much more to it than our limited way of thinking. So let's move to doing things. I'm also not opposed to you doing things in order to relax the person, but just know that it's never that person that wakes up. It's an energetic shift from being bound into that person to everything, and that's not limited to that person. That's not the person doing it. I know it might sound like it's you doing it because our language is only set up on subject and object, so whenever I say something it seems like it needs a subject in order to do it. But that's not true. It's such a wonderful subject, this. And then if we look in time, so if we actually look in the timeline of free will and choice, like even in time, we don't know when something began. Like when did your interest in non-duality begin? You can formulate a story which seems to make sense, but really you don't know when anything begins or ends. Like when do you find that beginning moment? Was it when your parents made love? Was it when your grandparents made love? Was it when you were born? Was it when you got hurt by your first lover, which led you to ask questions, which led you to meet this person and led you to meet that person and then led you to ask questions about this subject?